how does tantric practice really increase one's bodhicitta? Because, I haven't been practicing that long. I don't really have an experience. But I read that the reason why tantric is the quick path to enlightenment is because it increases one's bodhicitta. And I kind of have a conceptual understanding of how it is that way, but maybe you could talk a little about it from more experience.
That's a good question, by the way, very good question. It's come down to the core of the nature of tantric practice. We often kind of forget. Yeah. So when we say bodhicitta, in the context of Tantra, there are different levels of bodhicitta we can usually talk about. Subtler level of the bodhicitta, each of us has this bodhicitta within us. When you read in tantric practice, bodhicitta increase. The tantric practice is a skillful means to increase bodhicitta. So that might refer to this like a red bodhicitta, white bodhicitta, and so forth. But let's put that the higher levels of discussion aside. Then in terms of bodhicitta, in the sutra level, we started to develop the bodhicitta, right? Bodhicitta has a two level, or the two kind of bodhicitta we can classify: relative bodhicitta and the ultimate bodhicitta. We cultivate both in sutra level, right? Relative bodhicitta, there are two ways to cultivate. And one is going the cause and effect, contemplating on the everybody have been my mother, and then generating the feeling, the gratitude and the divine kindness, and then eventually come to the compassion and love to everybody. Then finally the resolve, the universal responsibility. I take on this responsibility to save all beings. Then the result is that relative bodhicitta. Therefore, I need to get awakened. I need to attain enlightenment for the sake of all beings. So that's one way to generate the relative bodhicitta. The another way is the Shantideva style, exchanging self for others. So that's another way. Then come to the same result. That's the sutra level we cultivating. We have been kind of doing. Then the ultimate bodhicitta is emptiness. Emptiness also, we do all different methods, try to cultivate or develop that aspect, ultimate aspect of reality through Madhyamika, Mahamudra, and so forth in the sutra level. In the Tantra, this relative and ultimate are all conjoined in one mind. For example, subject mind contained both two. So that actually escalates the process of this awakening. Maybe what that statement implies is that the Tantra all are integrated in the mind. Then one single moment of one mind has ultimate and relative all together. Then the developing through the skillful method, tantric method. Maybe that's just one way of saying. There are many ways to explain it. Also, tantric practice, people who come to Tantra are steered or driven by the strong bodhicitta. Tantric practitioner is the kind of fierce form of bodhisattva. Yeah, cannot wait for eons, zillions of time to save all beings. So want to escalate this process as quickly as possible. Therefore, we entered, or we will enter, the Tantra. In that sense, bodhicitta is continuously cultivated or developed on this journey. Without that, tantric practice doesn't work. All these skillful means we do, even just 8-line praise, we did the mudras and all these modalities we haven't used when we are in sutra level. And the sounds of Damaru feels like everything helps us to increase our bodhicitta. No, I mean, same as the Dharma art, actually. If we are aware of it, we have an intention, altruistic intention, become a Dharma art, bodhicitta. Very juicy subject.